We started out our week with going out to dinner at our favorite Mexican restaurant, and we got the usual. When you know what you like, that's what you get. The next night we grilled out. We were doing a lot of yard work. We made steak on our grill, and actually we were so busy we didn't make any sides to go with it, unless you consider s'mores a side dish, which I guess maybe we do. But anyway, that's what we had. So up until the day of our camping trip, we worked so many shifts to be able to get the weekend off. I believe I worked like 7 shifts in 4 days. And so one morning as I was rushing out to work, I noticed my roses were in bloom. So I was like, Rachel, stop and pay attention to your roses. They're so beautiful. On this day, I was out at Target getting some stuff that we needed to take on our camping trip. So here you are coming along with me on that. Not very much exciting going on here, just hitting the aisles. I was really tired. I didn't have a list. I was just kind of picking up what I saw, and if it looked interesting, then I grabbed it. I got some Gatorades and a floaty, some mosquito spray here at Target. And this is our Target's outside area. It was kind of picked over. I don't know. Our Target never really seems to have much in it. So after Target, I went to Five Below, which was probably where I should have started off in the first place. I know this, but I don't know. I start driving and somehow I end up at Target. So here I am pulling into Five Below, and they are the summer fun mecca right now. So anything you can think of that you may need is at Five Below for, you know, swimming and outdoor games and things like that. So I had to have a floaty, and I did not buy new beach towels, although they caught my eye, as well as these fun cups. But since I'm trying not to fill my house up with stuff that I won't use again, I didn't buy it. Lots of fun games were outside. Oh yeah, these hammocks. I should have got one of those, but I didn't. Tug of war. Yay. And this fun chair, that would have been fun too. All right, we're on our way. We finally got the kids loaded up in the truck. We're on our way to the campground.
Right, we're gonna go have fun.
We look a little bit like the Clampets.
We do look like the Clampets. Right.
Is that for your YouTube video?
That's the day. Ready? I'm getting the keys. I'm ready. Oh, it's broke. Wait, is it open?
No,
That's so creepy.
Oh, dang.
this is sweet.
Destination located. Yeah, this is me, Lenny. Yeah, get your butt up here. What?
Go on, Cam.
Yeah, this is me, Alexis, bro. Stop the cowboy.
Do it, do it. Don't jump too much. Go. For dinner on our first night at the campground, we just roasted some hot dogs and some s'mores over a fire. We had some chips to go along with them. It's just something simple. We had gone swimming when we first got there. It was a little later in the evening, so I knew that we would need something quick and that the kids would enjoy roasting their hot dogs on a stick over the fire. This little s'mores hack is something that's a hot sensation right now, but I've been doing it with my kids since they were little, and they're now in their late 20s and 30s. It is so much quicker and easier to make s'mores with these fudge stripe cookies, and they are so good. Oh my God, it's huge. Let's see. The next morning, it was time to put my little camp kitchen to work and get our bacon and eggs on. So we have some cereal, some coffee, and some eggs and bacon for this day. Because I knew there would be some who would not want to eat a big breakfast. One of the little guys only likes to eat cereal for breakfast, so I made sure that he had some to get his morning started right. On this day, we went to the lake and spent some time on the beach. We, I think, went back and forth between the pool and the beach on this day. Had a lot of fun. For dinner, we cooked up some sweet corn and some steak on the grill. We made some baked potatoes and some onions and mushrooms to go on our steak. Here I'm getting the corn on the cob into pocket or foil wraps with some garlic herb butter and some salt and pepper. Everything that I wrapped up in the foil, we just put on a grate over the fire and cooked while we made our steaks on the grill, and they were so good. As I mentioned, we had very little time to prep and prepare for this camping trip. I literally ordered groceries from Walmart for our trip, and we picked them up on the way so that they would already be loaded into the truck for us, and we wouldn't have to load and unload food. The guy was actually really sweet about it and helped put stuff in our cooler for us. We did a lot of sandwiches. There were no complaints about that. We had a lot of snacks, a lot of chips, and a lot of drinks on hand. But otherwise, you know, I really would have enjoyed to do some of the fun camp foods that you see the recipes for on Pinterest and whatever, but we just did not have that kind of time or energy to put into it. But I didn't want to let something like that stop us from having a good time on our camping trip, and I knew it would be more about the activities than it would be about the food. But on this day we did have a steak dinner, and that was really nice. And like I said, all of the foods that were in the foil pouches we put on the grate right over the campfire and cooked them, freeing up a lot of room on the grill for our steak. And you know, it's just a really quick, put it in a pouch and just give it a turn every now and then. And if you know me, you know I like to keep it as simple as possible. I really liked using this garlic flavored butter on the foods that I prepared. It really saved me from having to bring a ton of spices. The one thing I will point out is to make sure that you have a big enough piece of foil. I did have to trade mine out for a bigger piece. And make sure that you leave yourself room on both ends to fold it over and make a little envelope. I ended up having to get another piece of foil and set it in and wrap it up a second time because I didn't leave enough room and all of the juices were leaking out of the edge. But it's no problem just to put another piece of foil over it if that happens. Last, I'm just poking some holes in these potatoes and getting them wrapped up in foil for baked potatoes. Sometimes I like to put the butter and the salt and pepper on the inside of the foil so that it can cook into the potato, but I opted not to do that this time. And this is everything that we have wrapped in foil, ready to go on the fire for our dinner on this night. And so here's Bill grilling the steaks. I just love it when he takes over on grilling the steaks because I am not very good at it and am afraid that I would turn them into jerky. And this is what the corn and the other vegetables look like coming off of the fire. Just getting everything ready. The kids were actually playing with some other kids outside, so Bill and I were able to sit and enjoy dinner together for a few minutes before they returned, and that was nice. Camping is a whole lot of togetherness, and every now and then the peace and quiet is really nice. So I'm just getting a couple pieces of corn and a couple of potatoes ready for the two of us. The potatoes were so tender that I could break them open with a plastic fork. We really didn't plan on the right utensils for eating steak, but we made it work. We had some paper plates and some plastic forks and like one big knife, but we shared the big knife to cut our steak, and then everything else, you know, we could eat with the plastic forks. And here's that beautiful steak, and this is my plate with some of the onions and mushrooms on top and some steak sauce, a little bit of sour cream on my potato. So delicious. The following morning I made corned beef hash and eggs on the electric griddle, but I didn't record it. I just forgot. And then we headed out on the pontoon for the day to do some fishing and just to soak up the sun and do a little swimming off of the pontoon. Our son Grant and his girlfriend Kelsey drove down on this day to spend some time with us on the boat. It was really fun having them with us for the day. Bill ended up catching a pretty good sized fish while out on the boat. He said the whole time that before he left he was going to catch a big fish. So this is where I'll be leaving you. Thank you so much for coming along with us this week on our camping trip and our what's for dinners. Right around the bend here, we're about to see a couple of swans and their babies, and they were just so adorable to me. So I had to zoom in and get a little shot of them as we were passing by. Anyway, if you enjoyed our video, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button so that you can see our videos in the future. Thank you again so much for watching.